Okay, today we'll be making a Python project which uses the Google Sheets API to be able to use Google Sheets as a place to store your data. So we just have this spreadsheet called test spreadsheet. This is located just in my drive. It's in a folder, so it doesn't matter if it's in a folder or not. It won't really matter. We've got two sheets down here, contacts and contacts 2. Contacts contains email and contacts 2 contains phone. These won't be used for anything, they're just for the example. So what we want to do now is go to the Google API. You will need a Google account to sign in. I don't think this costs anything, correct me if I'm wrong. I imagine if you use it quite often, there might be costs associated, but I haven't had to pay anything. So you probably won't see this screen if this is your first time logging in, but what you just want to search up is Sheets or Google Sheets API. So I'm just going to look up Google Sheets. Ignore Sheets API because that's one of my previous projects, and then you want to just click Google Sheets API. You'd want to then press Manage. Wait for it to load. Now, you'll probably need to create a project. I already have a project, so I'm not going to create another one. You just need to press New Project, and then we're up to the same step. So you then go to Credentials. You do Create Credentials at the top here. Service Account. You can call this anything. We'll just call this Bo Project. And then we press Done. On that screen, it will also ask you a bit about the permissions that you want to grant someone. Normally, you just grant them owner permissions if that comes up. You can sort out permissions later as well if you do need to give certain permissions to certain people. Next thing you want to do is copy this service account down below. Then go to your spreadsheet, press share, and then you just want to copy and paste it in and send a notification. That will just let, I guess, the Google bot be able to edit your data. It's not always necessary, but I've found that it helps and it works. So the next thing you want to do is go back to your credentials. So just press on your service account down here. Go Keys, add a key, create a new one, make sure it's JSON, and create it. It'll download below, so open it up. So I'm just going to open mine with VS Code. If I can get it to open. I'll just open it with Notepad instead. All you need to do is copy and paste this key. So now we're moving completely over to the Python side. So what you want to do is create a token.json in your Python. I have one here to the left. Like always, I'll upload this code onto the GitHub. I will delete my private key though, so don't think you can log into my account. Anyway, so you just paste this in the token.json. So I also have two more files, main and then sheets.py. Sheets.py is going to handle all my Google calls, whilst main is just going to be where I obviously run everything. Okay, I'm going to go to sheets.py, and as you can see, I've already filled out a bit of data. Let me just move this terminal down. But essentially, what you want to do is just pip install gspread and pip install oauth to client. So that's just pip free install gspread. If you got any problems, just reply with a comment and I'll send a hand. But I've then got my class, which I'm just calling Google Sheet. We've got the scope of our own drive. We just put that in here. And then we're also collecting from our JSON key file, which is the token.json file here. And then we're authorizing it with our credentials. Okay, so now we want to kind of, I guess, do stuff with this. So I'm just going to make a new variable called sheet, and I'm going to use the Google API, sorry, SDK, and I'm going to call upon that client and actually open up one of my spreadsheets. So it needs to be the same name as what I called this sheet, which is, I think, right. Nope, I've spelled sped. spreadsheet wrong. My apologies. Anyway, so we've got that, and then I just want to make two variables called contacts, which is just going to relate to the worksheet sheets. So this is the main file, and this is going to be sheet 1, and then I'm also going to make another one, obviously, for the second sheet. So here we go, spreadsheet, contacts, I think it had a capital C, and then I'm going to do that again, self.contacts2, which is equal to sheet dot worksheet, and then again contacts2 this time, and if you're wondering what that is for, it's just for this again, these two sheets here. Okay, so now that we have a few functions, we open in the spreadsheet, and now we're getting the two sheets. We want to actually make some functions to do something with that. So first off, I'm just going to make a simple function to get the row length. And this is going to be a self function, and it's essentially just going to return the length of the rows. I want this so then I can put an ID number in, and I can also work out where my data is, so I'm not appending over it or anything. So let me go back. Okay, so return length, so I'm going to just do self.contacts and get all values. So what this will do is get all the values within that column, and then since I'm just getting the length of it, it will return how many values there are, which is essentially the length. Okay, so now I'm going to do another function, which is I'm going to call send data, and this one's going to be a bit more in depth, but it's going to be related to the actual data entry fields. So we're going to have first, last, and if I just remember what were the other fields, so there was email and there was also phone. And then I'm going to create two arrays, one called contacts and the other one called contacts2. I'm just going to make an ID number, so this would just be a number which ascends as I input in a row. So let's just run our get row length function. Okay, cool. And now essentially what we want to do is build an array that we can just put into the spreadsheet. So the way this works is the spreadsheet is made of rows and columns, and we can essentially just input a Python column or a Python row, which is just an array. So we'll just append that ID number on, and let's just append a bit more stuff onto this array, I guess. We'll do the first, not the fist, context.append, the last, and then we also want to obviously append the email. I think the email corresponded to the first one. I don't have the second sheet open, do I? Yep, okay, cool. And then let's just copy this. Probably code this a bit more efficiently, but it's more just to get the point across. And then we do phone. So we're not done just yet. The last step we want to do is just call upon our sheet again. So that is our self.contacts. And what we want to do is insert a row and now call upon our array function, which I might change the name of for the final GitHub to stop anyone getting confused. And we just want to put it in the row down from where all the data is. So what this returns is what the data is up to. So in this case, it will return 1 because there's data in 1. And we just want to obviously go to the second spot because we don't want to override this data. So we do that. And let's just copy and paste this again because we want to do the same with contacts too. Okay, so that's done. We're now just going to go to our main. I'm going to make an instance of the class. So let's import that class. And then let's run our function, send data. And we want to do first, last, email, and phone. So let's do my name. Let's do my email. And let's do my phone number. I might not put my phone number in, but I will put some random characters in instead. So then we just want to run that with python main.py, and we'll wait for see if that runs. In this step, you might be greeted with you need to authorize this. If that does come up, there'll be a link in the error message. Click on the link. It will take you to Google Drive authorization. Authorize the project. It'll take a few minutes. Try again in about 5 minutes, and then it should work. So let's look at our spreadsheet, and as you can see, the fields have been populated. And I don't know why the phone number's showing up, why the phone number hasn't shown up. Might quickly go back, and we did send the wrong value, so let's just run it again. And like I said, all this code will be on the GitHub. And there we go. Now we have the phone number and the email. So I hope you enjoyed this. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you.